How am I doing? Is my mic fine? I didn't.
Yeah,
test
your
it
mic's
before I joined.
fine.
All right, sweet.
Yo, so do you want to do analysis and I can do the actual like shouting?
I mean, if you don't mind, I'd kind of just go with the flow and see how it goes.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Is this your first time casting?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why. Normally there's like a color caster who's like the analysis guy who talks about fights after they happen, what happened, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got like the hype man who's like
Describing
talking.
everything as it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
Alright, so getting into champ select, finally, about time. We have TBJ versus Bubblegum, I believe. And Logan, this is one of the teams you're coaching, so what are you expecting out of them?
It is. Well, I've probably spent the most time with them, and they've, out of all the teams I've coached, they've had the most roster changes, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they went through a huge roster change. Jibs and Bits now moving to ADC, Fierce Damage moving from the mid lane to the support role, Kevy J moving from ADC to mid lane, and looks like a new top laner as well. So
yeah, we've got people actually switched around a bit more. Our original top laner left. This guy's a sub, and I'm pretty sure after that they changed their rules. So
feels bad, man.
yeah.
All of TSL's rosters have been going through a lot of roster changes. So what do you expect? What kind of comp do you expect them to run?
What's the delay on the stream? I don't want to handicap one team by saying what they might do or might not do.
Delays. I know it's 3 minutes in actual game, but I don't know what it's in champ select. It might not have a delay in champ select, but
there is no delay.
Okay, but in game there's a 3-minute delay.
I'd rather not say.
Okay.
Just because if someone on the other team's listening in, you know, and I say, oh, they're gonna play so and so, then.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm afraid of. Spritz is a very good Ezreal, which they banned it out, so that makes a lot of sense. Obviously, watching the VODs, probably they saw how good Spritz's Ezreal is, but Pablo now moving. I believe he was mid last time, so he moved down to support, and they got a new jungler, I believe, in Flame Fox.
How are these?
Delay is 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Alright. So how are these teams ranked right now? Like I know the last game was playing for the number 2.
I believe they're both tied, like bottom.
Tied for last.
I believe so. Let me check.
That's what I like to hear.
Standings. BeemoJenkins is 3-7 and Bubblegum is 3-8.
See.
So both teams struggling a bit, but this is a pretty big match in terms of playoff implications, though. Getting like 5th or 6th seed, depending.
Okay.
Could be big. But it looks like both of these teams, from what I talked to I talked to the captain of Bubblegum, and I also talked to Pablo a bit, and both these teams really want to make a run, or Gaiesi I think it was, and both these teams really want to make a run through the playoffs and try to, obviously they all want to win everything, so. But the Jarvan Tristana so far coming out.
How much was that sort of stuff seen last game? Like I said, I was working on stuff for other teams.
Tristana was picked in game 3, Jarvan was picked in game 3, Maokai was picked in 2 games, so very common.
What other stuff was sort of common?
MF, Leona.
Good picks.
So it looks like we're gonna have a Darius top lane to go against that Maokai, trying to abuse that passive that he has to get that true damage off on Maokai.
It'll be interesting to watch, but I feel like Maokai's a pretty safe pick in the Darius.
Yeah, Maokai's definitely a safe pick.
Not that there's not many safe picks into Darius in terms of lane phase, but
Right, but Maokai is one of those ones that can withstand it with his healing that he gets from his passive, I believe.
yeah,
He's able to maybe able to out-sustain that early lane pressure, but you expect a CS lead coming out of the Darius.
absolutely.
Also interesting, Vel'Koz's blind pick here. It's really interesting because of the Vel'Koz, when he ults, he's very immobile, and Jarvan can just hop on him there. So interesting there, that because Vel'Koz can easily be CC'd pretty hard. So
Yeah, they're gonna need they're missing some utility on their team.
yeah, definitely
need
gonna need
something to
some peel
peel.
here.
They're gonna need something to help engage as well, because I mean, as far as Darius goes, he's just so far he's looking at getting kited.
Right. What do you think about a Janna pickup here for TBJ?
Um,
Take a good look. It's the last you'll get.
I think that would be a good idea. As far as, like I said, peel. I think that'd be very useful for both the Trist and the Vel'Koz. But
Yeah, I think that's definitely what they want to go with here. Maybe because they did take the other shielding support in Lulu.
Yeah.
That has that good disengage. So, banning out ADs here on the side of TBJ is expected because they haven't locked in their AD. And banning out junglers, it looks like, targeted at Flame Fox with the Rammus and the Rengar, actually. Interesting ban there. I don't know if Flame Fox plays a lot of Rengar, but definitely not a pick we commonly see.
I haven't seen a Rengar in ages, even in my own matches.
Might just be his pocket pick.
Come on.
So yeah, definitely targeting banning AD here.
What? All right. Okay.
Okay, so they're going for a really
What?
interesting pick here with the Koglu. That's actually an extremely strong when it comes to late game, but they can get bullied out by this Tristana, and maybe even a Leona might come out here to try to even pressure that bot lane even more on the side of TBJ. But Kog'Maw's definitely going to have to scale up here, and haven't seen that pick in a long time, ever since the Ardent nerfs.
Yeah, for real. I'm excited to see it, man. I had mentioned playing Kog'Maw to him a couple of times, and he's like, "Nah, dude, I can't stand that champ." But I guess we'll see, man.
And here's the aggro that I was talking about, maybe like a Leona, but looks like it's going to be the Alistar lock in here, possibly. Yes, it is locked in. So Alistar Tristana into Lulu Kog'Maw. The one thing Alistar does have to be careful of is the polymorph on Lulu's W. He has to be careful that once he goes in, that is on cooldown to fully land that combo on the Cog and blow him up.
Enjoy. This was one of the comps that we had talked about playing. Didn't expect the Kog'Maw though, but other than that, it's pretty similar to what we had went over. What do you think about it?
Personally, I like Bubblegum's comp a lot. I think it offers a lot of hard engage. The only thing I see that could go wrong here is if the Kog'Maw does get blown up by the Alistar or the Vel'Koz focusing him down, or even a Sedge ult, possibly. So he's gonna have to position correctly, because without the Kog'Maw, they lose a lot of damage, because Syndra's more of a burst mage than anything else. She doesn't do a lot of DPS unless she has her Qs, just spamming her Qs, but that ult is single target, so unless she gets that huge AoE stun, she's not going to be doing a whole lot in terms of consistent damage. And spectator delay is coming into play here.
This, man. So how PG do I have to keep it?
I'd try to keep it PG-13.
Man, so
like,
I can't get naked or anything.
I mean, you're not face cam on, so I don't.
All right, glad to hear it. I'm already naked. I'm messing with you.
But going back to the comps real quick, on the side of TBJ, I like the fact that they picked up a Sejuani here, because She does give that that passive that can help her sustain some of that burst damage coming out of Syndra if she decides to go for the Sedge, which I hope she doesn't. Or even like the Jarvan Cataclysm. But it's also really nice because Sedge really builds well with Abyssal Mask and or even a oh god, what's the item that has the god
Is it a
Adaptive
support item?
Helm? That's it, Adaptive Helm.
Adaptive Helm.
And Adaptive Helm I think is really good here for both, maybe even the Darius, because Kog'Maw, remember, does do magic damage with his autos.
Yeah, so does that applies on his W?
It does, right. So
Nice.
if you have Adaptive Helm, it'd be super nice because you can negate a lot of that Kog'Maw damage, as well as their main carry is the Syndra and Kog'Maw. So Adaptive Helm is super good pickup here.
Not very familiar with jungle builds. What else do they usually build?
Well, Sedge is really versatile here. She's probably gonna go, I assume, Cinder Hulk. And then something maybe into a, like, I think the Adaptive Helm is almost a rush here. She could go Iceborne, but I don't agree with that because Kog'Maw doesn't do a whole lot of AD damage. He does do a lot in terms of crit, so maybe even a Randuin's Omen coming out with an adaptive.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about Jarvan? What do you think for him?
There's a couple different paths here that Jarvan could go. Personally, in this game, I see a really squishy Vel'Koz and a really squishy Tristana. But the issue with that is that they only have Maokai as their front line. So to me, I'm going a hybrid Jarvan. I'm going warrior, but then I'm building tank.
That makes sense to me.
And they do gotta be careful here because Vel'Koz does do true damage once he gets those 3 passive stacks off. So Maokai can get melted with the Vel'Koz ult.
Drew, how much have you seen of their mid laner?
I haven't seen any of him. I don't believe. I believe he's new. So interesting to see what he does here. But I don't know what happened with Bubblegum's roster. But I know they switched a whole lot around. So
Yeah.
I've never seen Kevy play mid. I've never seen Jibs play ADC. I've never seen Fierce play support. So
yeah. Neither have I, man.
So it's gonna be interesting here. But it's almost, if you're Bubblegum, it's really big for your morale if you're able to take out TBJ here, because they've had a lot of roster changes, and it'd be, to me, I feel like it really boosts them up in terms of morale if they're able to
find something that works.
Yeah, even just taking especially taking a series off of somebody at this stage could be really, really good for their morales going into playoffs only a week away.
That they're competing for the lowest bracket in playoffs, right?
So playoffs is since 2 teams dropped out of the split, they're all 6 teams are making it in to playoffs, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's just because of how things worked out. So basically, top 2 seeds get a first round bye. 3rd seed plays 6th seed, and 4th seed plays 5th seed.
I was reading the Twitch chat, and some dude was saying his team wanted to join. Is it too late for that, or do you know, or is that something that's gonna have to come down?
I think you'd have to bring that up with CTF.
Yeah. All right.
Because I'm only a caster and a player, so I'm not like.
Yeah. Oh, what team do you play for?
Dude, I play for Minty. I'm the top laner.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, have I talked to you before?
Yeah, you have.
What? I don't remember this.
I was asking you about our comp earlier.
Dude, so we were sitting there, like, it was like 30 minutes ago, and this sub for Bubblegum walks in. And I thought I knew all their voices, and he just starts talking to him like, dude, who are you? Like, why are you in our room? And he's like, dude, I'm the sub.
Yeah, you're gonna need to get those down. No, I'm the top learner and captain for TSL Minty Fresh.
I got you.
But yeah, getting into game here. If you don't know do you know how spectating works, like with the O key and everything?
With the O key, you're gonna have to explain that to me.
Okay, so the O key just brings up the scoreboard and their CS.
Okay.
I pretty much keep that on permanently. Just let me know when you hit 5 seconds so we're on the same pace here. Because sometimes there's a bit of a delay.
Alright, I'm a 5.
Okay.
Would you like me to pause it on 5 so we're perfectly safe?
No. Just keep it rolling.
So you're on 12 now? 13?
Yep.
14?
Yeah,
right.
Sometimes there's a bit of a delay, which sometimes we have to work that out, but it seems like we're good now. But looking at the Keystone runes, it looks like we're taking a Aerie for Syndra. I don't know what you take on Syndra. I feel like Aerie's pretty viable, but I would also see Comet being viable.
Yeah. I feel like Comet's the better option, but I don't play Syndra either. But most mid lanes typically do take it.
Oh, the cowbell, I love it.
Oh man.
Especially because my name's Milk Cows, I really appreciate that skin.
Expecting a pretty defensive start from
both sides here. Yeah, definitely 5 point, but they gotta be careful if you're on the side of Bubblegum because you really have to make sure you scale up here. But Jarvan did go for the electrocute option, so he is going for the ganking. So maybe if he does get the Syndra ahead, which I assume is the lane he's going to be going for the most because Kog'Maw and Lulu don't have a lot of kill pressure. If he can get that snowball going in the mid lane, this could be a very easy stomp. But on the other hand, you're looking if Sejuani can get the Vel'Koz or even the Alistar, Tristana bot lane ahead. Tristana is a very, very strong hyper carry.
I think that between the two, I think that Sejuani camping bot would probably be better. Just because you're going to be, late game, you're going to be getting more damage out of Kog'Maw than you probably will be getting out of Syndra.
Right.
I think that if he gets pretty far behind early, it's going to be kind of hard to come back.
Right, and keep in mind here, these are basically completely new rosters for almost both teams here. Besides the TBJ has made, I believe, 2 roster changes, but Bubblegum basically changing their whole roster around, so very new in terms of playing together. But actually, look at the poke that Lulu's putting down on Alistar. Playing that matchup really well. She just has to be careful for the engage here. Darius fighting in the minion wave isn't the best thing for him, as he does take a lot of minion aggro. Malphite's just gonna, or Maokai, excuse me, is just going to be able to heal that up. And actually screwed up his combo the Alistar did, but he still gets a good trade.
Yeah, they still get a lot of HP off him.
Yeah. I believe if he landed that knock-up onto Kog'Maw, they would have gotten the trade on the Kog, which would have been a lot better for them. But it looked like he just mistimed his combo there a bit. So what are you expecting to see from Bubblegum in terms of how are they going to stall this game out to make this Darius and make this bot lane, this really oppressive bot lane? How are they going to get Kog'Maw to that power spike that we see him at with the Ginsus, the Ginsus, the IE, and the Runans?
To be honest with you, I'm not really sure. I don't know how they play as players because of the roster swaps, the position changes.
Well, I mean, even just not knowing them as players, like how, if you're looking at this from a perspective with these champions, how do you stall this game out?
The easiest way is to just play passive. I mean, that's pretty universal. That's probably the most common advice I'll give to any team. It's just to play passive. In fives, it seems like the more passive and more safe team will always win.
But it's interesting because you look at TBJ, and Darius is going to have shove here on the they pretty much have all winning lanes with the exception of Vel'Koz into the Syndra. But Jarvan coming in for a gank here, forcing out the flash from Syndra. Or excuse me, flash out from Vel'Koz there.
Yeah.
So that's really nice actually, because they didn't burn any sums and they do get that Vel'Koz's flash. So if I'm Jarvan here, I'm just wrapping back around after taking my Gromp, or even backing here and getting that getting my first tier jungle item, and then maybe even going back for a repeat gank because Vel'Koz doesn't have that flash now, so he is vulnerable to ganks.
And getting Syndra rolling is probably his best chance at getting stuff in lane. I mean, if he can get something top, I mean, he's getting a Maokai fed, which isn't really doing much. And bot, I don't really know that they have the potential to engage.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I feel like a good trade out from here from the Alistar, trying to get the stun on the Lulu. He does hit that stun, and that's the first blood over to the Alistar, going on the Kog'Maw, but they're not going to be able to pick up anything besides the first blood. But that's huge. Tristana already building up a 12 CS lead, and that's going to force Kog'Maw to play really far back. And looks like Syndra actually just burned her flash from the trade there from the Vel'Koz, so
Yeah, I saw
Maybe
that as
you
well.
don't want to go mid lane now, even though that's still really good kill potential. But we mentioned this earlier. The bot side from TBJ is going to have a lot of kill pressure on Bubblegum, which you saw there with the Alistar picking up the first blood there with the stun auto attack.
From what I've seen so far, I'm a support player, so I noticed the support stuff the most, but it seems like Lulu's been playing too far up, and it was kind of benefiting him earlier whenever he was getting on that poke off on Alistar, but...
Yeah, that's where you really gotta be careful because it's really about positioning in this lane because Alistar, if he does find that combo, Tristana does put that E bomb on you, and you can be bursted really quickly. Good trade out for here from the Darius, trying to get the hemorrhage stacks. He does get 2, he's got 4 now. If he landed that Q, that would have been 5 and he could have ulted, but I don't believe he had the mana for that.
Doesn't look like it.
If he had the mana, that would have been a kill there, but Maokai's still gotta be careful because Darius can still get the hemorrhage stacks.
It looks like... How much health does J4 have?
He's
much.
about
What I
at
was
400.
What I was thinking for a sec was that Maokai should back and J4 should last in their turret, but he's only level 4 and he does not have very much health either.
Yeah, it's an expected. Jarvan does get kind of low in the jungle, even though he does have really good ganking potential. Surprised I didn't see the red buff start actually out of Jarvan. The red buff into the red buff into the level 2 gank, but Lulu getting caught out here on the side. Syndra is there for reinforcements, and she is going to zone off the Sejuani there. Here comes Alistar coming up here, landing the knockup, and that's another stun under the Lulu. Vel'Koz with the ult there, and she's going to go down. They're going onto the Syndra now. They are going to land the slow. Alistar doesn't have any cooldowns up. Vel'Koz is going to get the passive proc damage, but that's another one trade for BeemoJenkins. With the Alistar roaming up, a very nice job there from the support to come up and secure that kill.
So what Lulu was thinking there is, I believe Kog'Maw wasn't back in lane yet, and so she was thinking that she would roam and do something somewhere else on the other side of the map, because really, what can she do while Alistar and Kog are sitting there? So when you're already behind like that, you don't really have much pressure, so you can't really roam. So realistically, the only thing I think she could have done there was just sit at turret and wait for Kog to get back.
Right, and this is scary for... Oh, don't tell me they get the blue buff. No, they don't. Jarvan does cue that away. Tristana hopping in there, trying to take that steal there, but Sedge is just clearing out vision here like a good jungler should, but she's going to be careful from the Syndra.
Yeah,
Maokai trading back onto the top lane here.
They've got some great vision control. They have... They've got the whole river lit up. There's no way that the red team could get away with a roam from bot lane.
Yeah, Bubblegum definitely in a difficult spot here because the Alistar and the Tristana have really been pressuring this lane here, and it's hard for Lulu to even rotate around the map. And we mentioned that Alistar had a really good roam there, but that's because his lane was shoved in, and he feels comfortable leaving the Tristana.
Yeah, she's already ahead. Kog'Maw's not going to do anything.
But I do have to credit the Kog'Maw. Keeping up in CS is very, very well done by him.
Yeah, for real.
But he is going to go for that Ginsu's Rush, which is the typical Kog'Maw build. Going for the pickaxe first. But he doesn't have as much trading power as the Tristana right now because Tristana does have the BF, and she also has the natural Tristana early game advantage over Kog'Maw. So he has to be careful taking those trades. But Jarvan is 6 now, looking for a play here onto the top side. Maokai's root going down, Jarvan ult going down. Darius is going to flash out. Maokai flash falls, and she does pick up the kill there. Very nicely done there by Bubblegum, reading the Darius's overextension and taking advantage of that very nicely. And Maokai is actually going to pick up that kill, which will help him out a lot in this lane, actually. Maybe being able to buy the toppies, but we got a trade here on the bot side. Alistar does get the stun on the Lulu. Lulu is going to... Kog'Maw has to burn heal, excuse me. But a trade here, and Kog'Maw actually doing very well in the return damage. He's looking for the kill back onto the Tristana, but he's not able to find it. Alistar with the knockup. Kog's got to be careful here. He overextended. Flashes out, and that's 2 sums burned on the Kog'Maw. That's 4 sums in the bot lane burned by Bubblegum for the 2 of...
Ooh, look at this dive.
for the 2 of TBJ, but Sejuani is down here. She does have ult, but it looks like she's just going to clear out. Very nice word there from,
yeah, good word,
from
good
Lulu.
Word.
But Vel'Koz has steadily built up a nice CS lead in mid lane. He's 2-0, and Darius is about 20 CS up on Maokai as well. Jungle's going pretty even right now, but first turret's going to go over to TBJ, and that's going to be a huge gold influx to their Tristana.
They should have. I don't think they should have killed turret there. No other first turret is being threatened on the map. They should have let it stay because they could zone Cog. This way, he gets to freeze lane back at his other turret and.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That they zoned by Alistar for every second.
Yeah, they should have left the
they
tower
definitely
up
should have waited.
But they just wanted to secure that first tower gold, even though nothing else was threatened. They maybe wanted to get that gold influence to try to snowball their lead as fast as possible. But you mentioned that the extended laning phase that they could have had there would have zoned Cog off a lot of CS.
This is just giving them an opportunity to stay caught up in farm. Honestly, I think maybe Sejuani should have been top to counter gank. Because if they had won that, they could have
coming up to
Rift.
the top side here, but they have vision on her. They might be collapsing on her. Darius does have vision on her. Syndra is landing the stun there. Jarvan is here going in. That's not a good idea.
Man.
Darius with the knockup. Darius finding the dunk there. Gets the hammer stacks onto the Maokai. He is stunned there. Probably going to dunk again. Vel'Koz picking up that kill there. Tristana jumping forward. Looking for the diamond of the Syndra. Alistar is going to be tanking. The Sejuani ult comes out. Vel'Koz ult, and she's just going to go down here. Darius picking up another kill there. He is now 2-1-1, and they are going to get top turret off this as well. That's a huge, huge, huge win for TBJ.
Very good coordination by blue team.
And TBJ now, all of a sudden, their Vel'Koz is 3-0-1. Tristana has yet to pick up a kill, which is a bit unfortunate for her. Darius picking up 2 in that fight, and they are going to transition this into a Rift Herald. Bubblegum can't do anything about this because they have no vision on the map, and even if they try to contest, they'd get blown up.
There's not much they can do now but turtle. They've got to wait for blue team to start making mistakes. They've been trying to set picks, like the Lulu roaming the mid, but they're just not in the position to. They've got to wait it out.
Yeah, they have to kind of accept the fact that they've lost early game pretty hard here and just maintain their composure to get to that late game where that Kog'Maw really shines. He is up 10 CS over the Tristana, but that's because Trist has been roaming a bit here. But looks like they're gonna send Darius bot lane. Allow him to farm up some more. I believe Maokai will answer that if he so chooses. But it looks like a blue buff takeaway here. This is really risky for the side of TBJ because they have no vision on the rest of the map. Jarvan is coming in here. Jarvan finds the ult under the Tristana. Alistar with a beautiful headbutt out, and Tristana's going to flash away. But just a little bit over aggressive from TBJ, and this is what we were talking about with the mistakes.
Yep, that's exactly. Was there a flash burn there?
Tristana did burn flash.
Yeah, there we go.
The Jarvan electrocute proc did a lot of damage, but Alistar actually saved the Tristana there with a beautiful headbutt out of the Cataclysm. I really like the Alistar pick because it offers a lot in terms of engage and disengage. Very nicely done there by Pablo. But they are just going to try to pressure the mid lane here.
Alistar was a very good pick here. It gave them the utility they were lacking. It can work as both peel and engage.
Right. Looks like they're just going to pick up the Drake here. It's a Cloud Drake, but that is going to be a second Dragon stack if it does get to the Elder Point. Darius is being spotted out here by the Kog'Maw, who actually didn't have vision in that bush. A very proactive, or very smart ultimate charge there just to make sure that he didn't get jumped by the Darius. But Lulu is going to find herself caught out again. Alistar headbutts her over the wall. Fantastically done by him. Sedge is just building up the stacks here. I hope they give this over to Tristana, which they do. Sprit picking up his first kill of the game. And Kog'Maw even walking back towards the Darius. Darius finding those hammer stacks. Kog'Maw is going to go down here. I expect the dunk coming out. Dies to the bleed there. So that is another kill off for the Darius, and Kog'Maw does find his first test of the game. They are going to pressure mid lane here, diving onto the Syndra. Vel'Koz's ult. Alistar knocks back into the team, and Spritz goes, or excuse me, TBJ goes down immediately there, as Spritz picking up another kill, and they're going to pick up this mid turret here while Maokai's still in the top lane. He does have TP available, but he decided not to burn it that fight, giving that tower up as well, and that's going to offer TBJ even more utility as this snowball just continues. Maokai is going to pick up the tower on the top side though, but he has to answer this real quick because there's a Rift Herald summoning mid. It looks like they are going to get tier 2 off of this.
This is going to be a
Maokai
very hard
to the
game.
turret. Very poor idea by him there. But they gotta be careful. Alistar is under the tower, popping that ult. Jarvan does pick up a kill there, but Tristana is gonna find the return kill, I believe. No, she doesn't. The Lulu ult. Oh, the Vel'Koz Ignite actually picks him up there. But oh, Lulu or Tristana jumping forward. You got stunned by the Syndra. Syndra doesn't have ult yet. If she had ult, that would have been a kill onto the Tristana, and that would have been huge for Bubblegum.
Lulu and Kog'Maw were very far out of position there. They could have very easily. I don't know what Vel'Koz had up, but if he had his E up and he hit it on one of them, they would have been dead for sure. It's the little mistakes like those that put them where they're at right now. Just chasing too hard, roaming whenever you really can't.
They're just trying to find a way back into this game.
Yeah. They should not be out that far. They should not be pushing mid right now. They should be letting it shove into them so they can get the free farm without sticking their necks out.
Yeah, they're getting a bit antsy it seems like here, but they do have some vision in the top side of the map. TBJ's positioned most of their vision towards the bottom side for that dragon, I believe it was. But now looking at that Baron spawning in 3 minutes, I assume that they're going to try to take more vision over the top side of the map. But credit to Bubblegum because they have decently kept vision in the top side right now. As you see, there's 2 pinks up there, I believe. And Syndra is buying pinks as well as Jarvan as well as the Lulu here, but Kog'Maw still has the refillable potion, which I don't think you keep at this point.
If it's not taking up space that you need, it's...
I mean, I'd just rather have a control work slot there.
That's true. That's very true.
Jarvan is going to get caught out here, is going to EQ over the wall and get himself to safety.
Right there, again, Kog'Maw and Lulu did not need to be out that far. Obviously, nothing happened, but really, what did they accomplish? I mean, Jarvan was either going to get out by himself or die by himself. That right there could have been a mistake if the other team were all there.
Right, and looking at it now, Kog'Maw doesn't even have his completed Ginsus yet, so that's a huge power spike for him that he's still yet to complete. So you got to watch out for when that is completed because that is a big power spike for the Kog. As well as the Tristana has a static already and another BF as well as a completed boots on top of that.
What blue team is doing right now, this is how you do not siege. They need to pick a lane. They need to pick a lane and they need to siege it. What they're doing right now is literally pacing against a wall. It is not getting them a turret. And now they need to rotate top. They could very easily get that turret absolutely for free. But there's so many minions, they might just get it anyways.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to force on a bot here. They do have the Tristana and they do have the Demolish here. And it looks like they are going to pick that tower up. Possibly.
There we go.
And the tower does finally go down. Maokai with the zoning ult. Looks like they're going to try for an engage here. The Sedge ult does go onto the Maokai here, and he's going to go down for that. Lulu ult actually saving him, but that means the Maokai is going to go down to the smite there from Flame Fox. And it looks like they might have to give up inhib here. Kog'Maw is just doing no damage right now. Actually doing a decent amount to that Alistar, but that was with the Lulu's help. He does get pulled in here, has to burn heal, and having to kite back. He's not kiting right now, and that's really big that the Kog'Maw goes down there. Jarvan with the Cataclysm onto the Sejuani, picking up that kill with the Jarvan or the Kog'Maw passive there. But they have to be careful here not to overstay their welcome. They are going to pick up this inhib, and they have to back out here. They do have that minion wave in the top side that did die to turret, so it looks like they're just going to try to siege mid here.
That's a mistake. They should... I don't know. Maybe they can get away with sieging mid.
Jarvan does go down here, and Tristana picking up a double kill. And they are going to give mid inhib now. They're about 10, 11k gold up now. Tristana BM flashing. Darius BM flashing.
Come on, guys, that's not cool.
Darius BM TPing as well. Got a little bit of BM from TBJ. I don't know if that's a smart idea because they might need those summoners.
There was uncertainty from both teams in the last fight. Maokai kind of hesitantly went in, and Alistar kind of hesitantly went in, and both teams followed equally as slow. If this game were a little bit closer, I don't know who would have won that last fight. I mean, even though it was that last fight was a landslide in favor of the blue side, if they were a little bit closer, it could have gone either way, really.
It's important to note here that Kog'Maw has finished his Ginsu's.
What's his power spike? It's like 3 items, right? That's when the
Kog'Maw does have a
Kog'Maw
nice
kicks in.
power spike after the Ginsu's though, so that is the big pickup for him. And I don't like that the Sejuani's going for a frozen mallet, I believe here, or Iceborne Gauntlet possibly. The itemization could be a lot better from the blue side, but they are just so far ahead at this point that it doesn't really even matter. Picking up an Infernal there, and that's triple Drakes for them now. So Tristana's a full IE up on this or a full static up on this Kog'Maw. So she is absolutely massive right now, as well as the Vel'Koz up about a Ludens and a half, or a half of a Ludens on, are gonna go in here, find the pick on the Syndra. Syndra pushing up way too far there. The ult is burned by the Lulu. Maokai going in just to try to zone here. Doesn't get the true damage proc. Darius with the dunk there. And that's gonna be possibly game here as they're pushing in towards the Nexus turrets. Darius just zoning them off right now, getting the 2-man pull, going really deep here onto the Kog'Maw. Does get polymorph there. Jarvan trying to go in. Vel'Koz knocks up. They are going. Kog'Maw is raining down damage onto this Darius. Darius does go down there with the Flash Jarvan ultimate, but they are just going to try to focus the Nexus here. Tristana is still alive. They have to focus the Nexus if they're going to do this. They can kill Kog'Maw, which would be huge, but Kog'Maw is still free firing into the backline. Tristana goes down here, and that's huge for TBJ, or for Bubblegum, and they are going to focus down the Sejuani. Kog'Maw is going more, raining the heavy artillery down. Syndra is going to ult there, picking up the kill, and Bubblegum actually wins that fight because TBJ got antsy.
Kog'Maw stayed in the back, and eventually that's all he's going to need to do. No one could get to him.
Well, it may not look like it now. That is a very big momentum swing, although the blue side still has such a massive gold lead, and they do have complete map control right now. That is big because Kog'Maw is able to pick up some gold there, and Syndra is able to pick up a kill, which could help them in these next couple of fights, where that is completely unnecessary from TBJ, and definitely overstayed their welcome.
I'm curious to see how a Baron fight's gonna go.
They have to keep in mind that they have 2 open inhibs and the open Nexus.
Yeah.
So they have to be very careful here, very cautious of their plays. They have to pretty much keep that Kog'Maw back there to manage those minion waves, and that means that they can't fight at all, and they might have to give up this Baron, or else they could easily just walk down mid and end the game. So
they should be going to top turret. They shouldn't be going through this.
Bubblegum's trying to stall this out, but it looks like the Baron call is coming out here from TBJ. Pretty uncontestable.
Yeah.
Unless Jarvan is going to go in for a Miracle Steal here, but they do melt this pretty fast with the Vel'Koz true damage. Jarvan might be able to actually get in here. Alistar knocks him away. Very
well
good.
Well played, Alistar.
Jarvan going in way too early. Gets ulted out, and the Baron does go down. Where is Kog'Maw in this fight? Kog'Maw is still a base. That is not good for Bubblegum. This should be the game here as Jarvan goes down to the Vel'Koz. Darius trying his best to do more work on the backside. Vel'Koz with a nice ultimate getting his team out of there, but Syndra is still alive. Kog'Maw is still alive, and him comes back up, doing a lot of damage on the Alistar actually. Maokai Sapling might be able to pick him out. Alistar is forced to flash out. Sejuani's going to ham onto this Lulu. Almost picking up the kill there. She's going really deep right now. Darius is in the base and he misses the pull on the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw is level 14 now. He doesn't have his W active. This could be really bad if he gets caught out here. Maokai's trying to zone up the Sejuani as much as possible. Keep your eyes on the Kog'Maw right now. Kog'Maw does go down, and that could be easily game for them. He does pick up a kill with the pass, but there Tristana is just free firing onto that back line. Darius is going to pick up another kill there, getting the heal onto the Q, picking up another kill, double kill for Darius, and Jarvan's just trying to do his best to save the game, but that's going to be game for TBJ.
Yeah,
Triple kill for Tristana, 8-1 and 8, and 7-1 and 8 on the carries, 6-2 and 8 on the Darius, and just a really rough game for Bubblegum, just almost being completely stomped there in game 1.
I don't think they had enough practice with late game comps. To be honest, I'm not sure if they got any practice at all with the updated roster. I don't think they ran that comp at all, but it's not the hardest comp to play, but you know, it's a comp made for late game, and if you're not playing it like a comp that's made for late game, it's not going to go well.
Yeah, they lost almost all their advantages in the early game, and that was just able to let them continue that pressure around the map and really bring down the whole comp here for Bubblegum. But I will be right back as we're ready to get into game 2.